The meaning of the acronym was as much of a secret as were their good deeds.
"If you come up with an idea, let me know," Vera said. "I could use something to distract my students as well." "Good morning, ladies," a voice called out behind them. "A bit cool for an early morning walk, isn't it?"
Alice glanced back to see Viola Reed marching down the sidewalk toward them, her arms wrapped tightly around her waist as if anchoring her calf-length coat. Over her ample shoulders was draped a bright turquoise and gold scarf, a cheery touch on a dreary morning. "Good morning, Viola," Alice said with a smile. "You're up bright and early."
"I have a lot of work to do at the bookstore this morning, inventory and restocking."
Viola gave a shudder that made her bifocals flash. Viola owned and operated 9 Lives bookstore, and though she seemed to complain about how busy it kept her, the truth was that she lived and breathed her work.
"Could you tell Louise that I can't have her over this evening after all? I simply won't have time."
Alice's older sister Louise and Viola were good friends, though, or perhaps because, they were both strong-minded. "I'll let her know. By the way, I really enjoyed that last book you recommended to me."
"I'm so glad you did. I was hoping you could be lured away from the mysteries you seem to enjoy so much. If only I could convince a few more people in this town to pick up other books."
Viola pulled her mouth tight as a drawstring purse and let the sentence hang, giving a you-know-what-I-mean shrug. Alice stifled her chuckle, turning it into a gentle smile. There are so many other ways to be entertained.
"Like movies, for instance. I'm not sure I entirely approve of Nia Kimono's carrying all those DVDs and videos in the library."
She sniffed her disfavor.
"I thought, as a librarian, she would have more respect for the written word and would not be seduced by the empty-minded twaddle that Hollywood is force-feeding this generation. Movies and television, the death of reading and intelligence."
She gave another shudder and was about to say more when the bells of the Methodist Church rang the half-hour. She glanced at her own watch as if to verify the accuracy of the church's timekeeping.
"Gracious, I better get going. Lovely to see you, ladies. Enjoy your walk."
And she was gone in a swirl of coat and scarf. Vera laughed as they crossed Acorn Avenue in Viola's wake.
"Does the word opinionated ever come to mind when you think of Viola Reed?"
"Frequently, though she has a good heart," Alice said with a smile. She inhaled slowly as she passed the Good Apple Bakery, catching a teasing scent of baking bread. Luckily, her younger sister Jane had served breakfast before Alice left for her walk. Otherwise, Alice would have been even more tempted by the mouth-watering smells wafting from the bakery. Jane had been up very early that morning, trying out new recipes to serve at their bed and breakfast. During the quiet time that January and February usually brought to the inn, Jane tried her baking experiments on her willing subjects, Alice, Louise, and their dear Aunt Ethel. Ethel lived in the carriage house behind the inn and was usually available as a taster. Alice welcomed the slower season when many people seemed content to stay at home. In addition to running the inn, she worked part-time at the hospital. Louise taught piano, and Jane continued to develop her chocolate and her jewelry crafting businesses, do her painting, plan her garden, and involve herself in whatever new project she got excited about. Sometimes Alice got tired thinking of all the extra things Jane took on. It seemed that her sister was always up for a new challenge, a new idea.
"I love this time of day," Vera said. "It's as if we have the town all to ourselves. I have to confess that at this time of year I sometimes suffer from the January blahs." The rattling roar of a diesel motor caught Alice's attention, and she looked down the quiet street in time to see a large black pickup truck park across from the coffee shop. The truck stood high off the ground and had 4 doors on an extended cab.